The first quarterly online legal briefing of 2024 of Oneness Biotech has officially begun. Today, we are very pleased to have all investors to participate in Oneness Biotech's report to shareholders online. First of all, I would like to introduce the management team of Oneness Biotech. Ms. Shuling Cheng, President, Mr. Yongqi Cheng, Vice President of Business Department, Ms. Nian Yichen, Vice President of Antibody Division, Ms. Lunyan Cho, Vice President of Small Molecule Division, Mr. Wenqi Xiao, Assistant Manager of Finance Department. Dr. Shuling Cheng, the newly appointed General Manager, has a PhD in Viral and Cellular Molecular Biology, more than 25 years of experience in the biotechnology industry of new drugs and medical materials, and has experience in starting up the industry. In the past, she served as the General Manager of a listed biotechnology investment company, a partner of an international consulting firm, and the chief strategist of a startup medical materials company, and is specialized in the operation and management of biotechnology industry, the strategy of commercialization for the development of new innovative products, the authorization of technology, and international cooperation and development. She specializes in biotech industry management, innovative product development and commercialization strategy, technology authorization, and international cooperation. Next, I would like to invite Ms. Shuling Cheng to give her speech.
Good afternoon, shareholders, investors, ladies and gentlemen. Today is the first quarterly press conference of 2024 for Oneness Biotech. The management team will report to shareholders on Oneness Biotech, its marketing strategy and R&D progress, as well as important issues that shareholders are concerned about, in the hope of enabling shareholders to better understand Oneness Biotech. The year 2024 is a business year for Oneness. After obtaining the new drug license for diabetic foot ulcers in mainland China in the fourth quarter of 2023, the new drug has officially crossed the stage of commercialization from the R&D stage, and the Oneness team is now opening the door to the global chronic wound care market with its two-pronged strategy of innovative drugs and medical materials. In innovative drugs, the Oneness team will use Fespixon in Taiwan, mainland China, and Malaysia-Singapore market, and will complete a large-scale post-launch study in Taiwan in 2024 to achieve the goals of first launch in Taiwan, market pricing, and efficacy verification, and to provide strong support for the global launch. Fespixon is the first new natural medicine approved in China and the first new drug for diabetic foot ulcers, which will be sold under exclusive authorization. The Singapore-Malaysia market is an indicator of the ASEAN region, leading the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN, market layout. Singapore has completed the signing of the distribution contract for Fespixon. At this stage, Malaysia has entered into the contract negotiation stage with the distributor, and Europe and the US have adopted the medical material as their access strategy. The first phase of Bonvadis's general wound indications has been completed and includes approvals from the US, the European Union, India, and the Middle East, among many others. The second phase of the company will expand into chronic wound indications, with the US being the world's largest market. Oneness team will carefully evaluate the most appropriate commercialization model in order to maximize the value of the market. The EU market is a key indicator market. Bonvadis Medical Materials is planning to apply for chronic wound indications in the second phase of the EU market this year, and the market is scheduled to be completed in 2025. Oneness Biotech has set up a milestone in the new drug market, focusing on research and development of new drugs, with new antibody drugs, FB825, FB704A, and new nucleic acid drug, SNS812, as the three key research and development items. The new drugs FB825, FB704A, and SNS812 are the three key R&D projects. FB825 is the only new drug targeting IgE B-cell antibodies for atopic dermatitis, AD, aiming at the huge market of atopic dermatitis and allergic asthma. FB704A can effectively neutralize the key cytokine IL-6 in inflammation, which will expand the unique indications related to severe asthma and chronic renal disease, and gain the first market opportunity. Nucleic acid SNS812 locks up the immutable region of COVID virus and perfectly covers all the mutated strains to solve the coronavirus infection once and for all. Nucleic acid SNS 812 locks in the invariable zone of COVID virus, perfectly covering all mutant strains and solving coronavirus infection once and for all. Oneness Biotech is a game changer in the new drug market. At this stage, we have already launched a new drug Fespixon, FB825, and SNS812, a new antibody drug, and a new nucleic acid drug. Fespixon, FB825, and SNS802 are the three arrows of Oneness Biotech, aiming at the global new drug market. Oneness Biotech has steadily moved from R&D to marketing and has used its established strategy to gain access to major international markets and complete commercialization negotiations, entering the global market with Fespixon, Bonvatis, innovative drugs, and medical materials in a sequential manner. Fespixon is not only limited to diabetic foot ulcer wound medication, but also focuses on chronic wound care. Fespixon will continue to maintain its leading position in the global pharmaceutical and medical materials market and will maintain a strong foothold in Taiwan, mainland China, New Malaysia, and the Middle East this year, and will also actively engage in regional licensing and agent negotiations in other international markets. The $10 billion global market planned by Oneness will be realized under the team's professionalism, dedication, perseverance, unremitting struggle, and never-give-up efforts. Will be realized one by one. Wish you all a happy harvest in 2024. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cheng. I would like to ask Mr. Hixiao to explain the financial report to you.
Thank you. This is the disclaimer for this legal briefing. Next, we will report on our fourth quarter 2023 financial results. First, report the significant financial figures and description of changes for the year 2023. Operating revenue for FY 2023 was 86,783,000 new Taiwan dollars, a decrease of 978,771,000 new Taiwan dollars from FY 2022. Research and development expenses of 952.548 million new Taiwan dollars, an increase of 33.532 million new Taiwan dollars from the same period in FY 2022. Loss for the period of 1,322.568 million new Taiwan dollars, a change of 1,674.465 million new Taiwan dollars from the same period in FY 2022. Assets and liabilities as of December 31, 2023. For assets and liabilities, as of December 31, 2023, total assets were 15,363,703,000 new Taiwan dollars, a decrease of 216,682,000 new Taiwan dollars from December 31, 2022. Total liabilities were 866.429 million new Taiwan dollars, an increase of 166.408 million new Taiwan dollars from December 31, 2022. Shareholders' equity was 14,497.274 million new Taiwan dollars, a decrease of 382.73 million new Taiwan dollars from December 31, 2022. Detailed changes will be reported later. Based on the closing price of 175.5 new Taiwan dollar per share on March 29, 2024, the market value of Hopscotch's stock was approximately $79.7 billion new Taiwan dollar. Based on the closing price of 175.5 per share of Hopscotch on March 29, 2024, the market value would be approximately 79.7 billion new Taiwan dollars. Next, we report the condensed income statement for you. Loss per share of 1 new Taiwan dollar and 7 cents for the fourth quarter of 2023, compared to 1 new Taiwan dollar and 46 cents for the fourth quarter of 2022. Loss after tax of 498.873 million new Taiwan dollars for 4Q 2023. Loss after tax of 650,272,000 new Taiwan dollars for 4Q 2022. The main reasons for the loss for the current period are explained as follows. Operating revenues, operating costs and gross profit, together with the items of marketing expenses and administrative expenses and operating expenses, were not significantly different from the same period in 2022. In the fourth quarter of 2023, the main expenditure was on research and development, ROD, with ROD expenses amounting to $263.342 million, which was mainly spent on a number of international clinical trials of new drugs, including Phase 3, Phase 2, Phase 1 and preclinical trials. Research and development expenses accounted for 86% of operating expenses in 4Q 2023. Net non-operating expenses were 207.78 million new Taiwan dollars in 4Q 2023, which was mainly due to the recognition of foreign currency assets valuation, a net unrealized foreign currency exchange loss of 282.74 million new Taiwan dollars, and interest income on bank deposits of 73.717 million new Taiwan dollars. The above is an explanation of the income statement for the fourth quarter of 2023. We now report the condensed balance sheet, with total assets of 15,363,703 million new Taiwan dollars as of December 31, 2023, as of the date of this report. Significant changes in assets, liabilities and equity for the current period are summarized as follows. First, cash flow of financial assets amounted to 7,772.96 million new Taiwan dollars. The decrease was mainly due to the decrease in the exchange rate of the US dollar and the recognition of a net unrealized foreign currency exchange loss of 282,742,000 new Taiwan dollars. In addition, a gain of 76,482,000 new Taiwan dollars was recognized on the valuation of listed stocks at fair value through other comprehensive income and other net cash changes from operating activities. The second item, investment in financial assets non-current of 4,096.145 million new Taiwan dollars, increased from the previous quarter mainly due to the recognition of other comprehensive gains and losses of 47.017 million new Taiwan dollars based on proportionate shareholding in equity method investments and the recognition of valuation gains of 164.494 million new Taiwan dollars through the non-current of financial assets at fair value through other comprehensive gains and losses. The third item, total liabilities of 866.429 million new Taiwan dollars, increased from the previous quarter mainly due to the recognition of 179.627 million new Taiwan dollars in lease liabilities for the lease of new office space. The fourth item is the cumulative loss of 1,266.904 million new Taiwan dollars. The reason for the change has just been explained in the condensed income statement report. The fifth item, unrealized gain or loss on financial assets at fair value through other comprehensive income of 1,767,332,000 new Taiwan dollars, increased from the previous quarter mainly due to the recognition of unrealized valuation gain or loss on investments in equity instruments at fair value through other comprehensive income of 240,976,000 new Taiwan dollars and the share of other comprehensive income of affiliates accounted for under the equity method of accounting of 60,493,000 new Taiwan dollars. The above is an analysis of the balance sheet. The above is an explanation of the significant changes in the balance sheet. Note 1 to the financial statements. This is a consolidation of the recent explanation of the profit and loss for the fourth quarter of 2023, which is available to shareholders who are unable to participate in the online meeting. Note 2 to the financial statements. The key financial ratios for the fourth quarter of 2023 include current ratio of 3,723.13%, quick ratio of 3,656.15%, and debt to total assets ratio of 5.64%. Please also refer to the fourth point for a description of the changes in significant items. This page is the dividend distribution for FY 2023. The Board of Directors of Oneness Biotech has resolved to distribute stock dividends of 5 new Taiwan cents per share from the capital surplus of 227,573,000 new Taiwan dollars for the year 2023. The dividend distribution proposal has been submitted to the shareholders meeting on May 21st. The above is the financial report of Oneness Biotech. Thank you.
Next, the operation report will be presented by the Vice President of Business Department, Mr. Yongki Cheng.
Next, I would like to report to our shareholders the operating results of Oneness Biotech in the first quarter of 2024. 2024 is a business year for Oneness Biotech, and we will move from in-house research and development to the market. This press conference is divided into several important issues to report to investors. The first is about Oneness global market strategy in innovative drugs and medical materials. The second is about Fespixin strategy and market development progress in Taiwan's first market. The third is about Fespixin launched progress in mainland China. The fourth is about Fespixin launched status in Singapore, Malaysia, and other countries in Southeast Asia. And the fifth is about Fespixin access to the US, Europe, the Middle East, and Africa markets for Bonbadis as medical materials. Next, we would like to introduce to our shareholders the strategic aspects of our global marketing strategy for innovative drugs and medical materials for chronic wounds. According to clinicaltrials.gov, Oneness's new DFU drug, Fespixin, and its medical materials continue to be a global leader in the field of chronic wounds, and there are no competing products at this point in time. In addition, we have 3 core values, including an innovative mechanism of action, significant clinical efficacy and complete patent protection, which, coupled with our global launch plan, will be a niche for market expansion. With a launch in Taiwan in 2021, health insurance coverage in 2023, and a large-scale post-marketing study in 2024, we have achieved the functional goals of first-to-market pricing and efficacy validation, which will provide strong support for a global launch. In another important global market for chronic wounds, China has already been approved for marketing, which symbolizes that Oneness DFU's new drugs and medical materials are moving from research and development into the global market, and will enter important markets such as the United States, the European Union, and India. With or without ups and downs, it is just a matter of time. The double-edged blade of Oneness's new drugs and medical materials is opening the door to move from road to the market. Continuing with the previous strategy, in the second market strategy, Fespixin, an innovative drug for chronic wounds, has been approved to be marketed in Taiwan, Singapore, Malaysia, and China, while Indonesia, the Philippines, and Vietnam are now in the stage of substantive drug license review, and we expect to have good results soon. Bonvatus has also been registered for general wound care in the US, the European Union, India, New Zealand, South Africa, Egypt, Thailand, and Pakistan, and the second phase of the chronic wound care license will be submitted to a number of countries in accordance with the plan. We also expect to be able to complete the global launch in major markets by 2024 to 2025. In accordance with our established strategy, Oneness Biotech will obtain access to major international markets and complete commercialization negotiations. We will sequentially enter the global market for innovative drugs and medical materials for chronic wounds in order to maximize the benefits for our shareholders. In the Taiwan market, we have the following key strategies to report to shareholders. First, we will expand our sales channels. After obtaining health insurance approval in August 2023, we will complete the importation of Fespixin in the first quarter of 2024 in the 3 major healthcare systems of NTU, TVGH, and CGMH. We will overcome the artificial barriers to the listing of global innovative drugs in Taiwan, which will be conducive to the expansion of our market and greater sales in Taiwan. Secondly, we will strengthen our brand value by sharing more real-life cases after the market launch, so that healthcare professionals and patients will recognize and use Fespixin, and through the recognition of more patients and doctors, our sales will gradually grow and expand. Thirdly, we will strengthen the disease publicity, so that more patients can receive early treatment. We have also launched the Diabetic Foot Care website and cooperated with the Taiwan Society for Wound Care to publish the Diabetic Foot Ulcer Disease Health Education Manual. And we have also publicized the prevention, attention, and treatment of diabetic foot ulcers in the social media. And this way of disease publicity has gained the positive feedbacks from healthcare professionals and patients. Fourth, clinical evidence. In addition to the greater clinical evidence in diabetic foot ulcers, many doctors have used Fespixin in more difficult-to-treat wounds and acute wounds to help patients with rapid wound healing, which in fact proves the efficacy of Fespixin for all wounds. Everyone is very concerned about the market in China. In China, there are about 8.3 to 11 million patients with diabetic foot ulcers, but the existing medical resources are uneven, and the treatments are only dressings, growth factors, or homemade hospital products and Chinese herbal burns creams. In fact, none of these treatments can effectively treat patients with diabetic foot ulcers. Therefore, according to the statistics, the number of patients with amputation due to diabetic foot ulcers is still as high as 1.6 million in China every year. Sulfur foot cream is the first natural medicine approved in China, which belongs to 1.1 new class of drugs, and is also the first specialized innovative medicine for the treatment of diabetic foot ulcers. We know that the mainland market is huge, so we will adopt the exclusive authorization of the general distribution method. Currently, with a number of large-scale pharmaceutical companies with national sales channels are in the process of negotiation. We choose to cooperate with the target. In addition to sales strength, honesty and diligence will also be the main considerations for cooperation. For the China market, the annual health insurance negotiation will take place from July to December every year, which is an important key point for Fespixan's market access. According to the report of the relevant medical associations in mainland China, the average annual medical cost of DFU patients is as high as RMB 19,000, which is far more than the cost of Fespixan drug treatment. The post-marketing pricing strategy, post-marketing studies and International Medical Association reports in Taiwan provide a very important niche for commercial cooperation and health insurance negotiation in China, which will be favorable to the promotion of Fespixan in the China market. In addition, we will start a 120-case clinical study in the first half of 2024 by Microbio according to the plan after the launch in China. Another market of concern is Singapore, Malaysia, where we completed the signing of the Fespixan distributor's contract in February 2024, and the first batch of Fespixan was imported to Singapore in March 2024, with the current local price of a strip of Fespixan being $670 USD. There are about 70,000 diabetic foot ulcers in Singapore, for which there is currently no effective drug treatment. It is believed that the launch of the drug will help healthcare professionals to provide better and quicker treatment to the patients. As for Malaysia, which is a vast and ethnically diverse country, we are currently in discussion with a number of distributors and are in the contract negotiation stage. We have already received requests from major hospitals in the region and will ship the products as soon as the distribution contracts are signed. In Southeast Asia, the Singapore-Malaysia market is the regional benchmark, so we will be more prudent in our cooperation strategy as it affects the entire ASEAN market. U.S. market. In the U.S. market, we will take Bonbadis for general wound indications, and in the second phase, we will add chronic wound indications, and we have already conducted a cold trial program, and we have expanded into various disciplines including podiatry, dermatology, and surgery. We have also collected opinions on the clinical responses of different indications, including DFU, VLU, and postoperative wounds. Currently, we have received very positive feedback from physicians on these applications. Before obtaining the second phase of 510K for chronic wounds, we will continue to strengthen our product positioning, establish our brand, and optimize our pricing strategy in order to support a more complete plan for subsequent launches. Bonbadis Medical's approach to the wound care market, with the US being the largest market in the world, is to continue to carefully evaluate the most appropriate commercialization model, which includes licensing, distribution, mergers and acquisitions, and self-selling, etc., so that we can use the best possible model to create the greatest market value. Next is the Middle East and Africa. There are about 920,000 patients with diabetic foot ulcers in the Middle East market, and we have already applied for registration in Saudi Arabia among the GCC Gulf countries, and are in the process of negotiating regional licensing and cooperation. We are also implementing the COLE clinical trial program. As for the African market, there are about 5.44 million diabetic foot ulcer patients in Africa, and the main economies are concentrated in North Africa except South Africa. We have already received an order from the Egyptian distributor and are waiting for the regional distribution contract to be signed before we can ship the product. The Middle East and African markets will be accessed quickly in the form of medical materials. Finally, the EU market. The EU market will be accessed in 2 phases, with the first phase already completed. The EU market is one of the key indicator markets, and we will apply for a clinical trial exemption before entering the second phase. If we obtain exemption from clinical trials, we will submit for review in Q2 2024 the quality system and product technical documents, including product design, manufacturing safety and performance, risk assessment and validation, etc. The timing of the review will depend on the comments of the preliminary review and the results of the on-site audit. We expect to complete the EU market access in 2025. The above is the operation report, and the next road report will be presented by Mr. Chen Nine-Yi, Vice President.
Thank you. I would now like to report on the progress of the development of major new drugs. Today's report includes FB825 anti-CMX monoclonal antibody in atopic dermatitis and allergic asthma, FB704A anti-IL-6 antibody in severe asthma and chronic kidney disease-related indications, SNS812 siRNA small nucleic acid pan-COVID-19 COVID flu drug development. First of all, we would like to report the RD progress of FB825, FB825 is an anti-CMX monoclonal antibody targeting at IgE B cells, and it is the only monoclonal antibody targeting at IgE B cells in clinic in the world. And we have applied a brand new mechanism to exclusively regulate the IgE B cells to block allergic reactions. The figure on the left is a typical flow chart of an allergic reaction. After the allergen enters the body, it will stimulate our immune cells to release a series of interleukins to stimulate our immune cells to produce B cells, and the allergic reaction will tend to go towards IgE, and the IgE B cells will take a very important position. IgE B cells not only further differentiate into plasma cells to release IgE to produce subsequent allergic reactions, but also have some regulatory mechanisms, which are being investigated by our team. According to this picture, IgE B cells are an antibody drug with both safety and ability to regulate the key steps of allergic reactions. We are utilizing this advantage to allow us to intervene in a very large therapeutic market for the indications we have selected: atopic dermatitis and allergic asthma, which are both very large and in urgent need of treatment. In the development of FB825 for moderate to severe atopic dermatitis, we are in the process of optimizing the dosage form to increase the competitiveness of the product. The subcutaneous and intravenous dose bridging trial in the U.S. was completed earlier this year, with all samples analyzed and the database locked, and the trial report was available in March of this year. Our trial results show that the safety of the subcutaneous dosage form of FB825 is good, and its bioavailability, i.e., the parameter between the subcutaneous dosage form and the intravenous dosage form, ranges from 62 to 72%, which is in line with the international drug specifications. The PK parameters obtained in this trial have been applied to the design of subsequent clinical trials. Successful switching of the subcutaneous dosage form can greatly increase the convenience of FB825's use, patient acceptance, and make this product more competitive. Verification of the efficacy of subcutaneous formulation. The clinical protocol for the subcutaneous formulation in AD patients was submitted to the US FDA in January 2024 and to the Taiwan TFDA in March 2024. The trial aims to enroll 90 patients with inadequately controlled moderate to severe AD at multiple medical centers in US and Taiwan. The goal is to obtain the efficacy parameters of subcutaneous formulation by 2025. Our RD team has continued to deepen the scientific research on the mechanism of action of FB825 and applied our exclusive genetically modified CMX mice to establish an animal model that is closer to human pathology, and we have achieved preliminary results in the mouse disease model of allergen-induced atopic dermatitis. In this disease model, we observed that the typical characteristics of atopic dermatitis as allergen-induced IgE elevation appeared in the mouse model, as well as pathological phenomena such as skin erythema and desquamation. At the same time, if FB825 was administered to the diseased mice, the biomarkers saw a decrease in the allergen IgE, and more importantly, skin symptoms were improved after FB825 treatment. This is a rare animal mechanism to validate the efficacy of FB825 in atopic dermatitis. This validation of the mechanism of action of FB825 and its possible future effects not only provides a strong theoretical evidence for the efficacy of the drug, but also supports the possibility of deriving new mechanisms of action after more in-depth studies, further expanding the value of the drug. Another indication of FB825 is for moderate to severe allergic asthma. We have been actively enrolling this clinical trial in 16 hospitals throughout Taiwan, and in December 2023, after achieving the specific enrollment goal, we conducted a meeting of the Safety Assessment Board, DSMB, during the trial according to the protocol. The committee concluded that FB825 is safe and enrollment can continue as scheduled. FB825 targeted IgE B cells are highly associated with allergic asthma. In the past, scientific research has focused on the association between free-type IgE B cells and allergic diseases. Due to the scarcity of IgE B cells, it is not easy to study these cells. Therefore, the international research is limited. However, we have found a very interesting report. In the field of IgE B cells, the sputum of patients with allergic asthma contains a higher number of IgE B cells, especially memory IgE B cells, and IgE-secreting plasma cells, than that of normal subjects and other allergic diseases. In this study, we found that the number of IgE B cells and plasma cells, which are critical and very important for immune memory, was higher than that of normal subjects, indicating that the number of IgE B cells in patients with moderate to severe allergic asthma is closely related to the disease. And this finding further supports the possible mechanism of FB825, which provides insight into the mechanism of action of FB825 in allergic asthma. This provides a very strong support for the mechanism of FB825 in allergic asthma. In terms of international drug competition, there are several biologics on the market for asthma medications. Due to the multiple and complex etiologies of asthma, most of the asthma medications currently on the market are focused on the type 2 allergic pathway. For example, Xolair is targeting the free-form IgE. Dupixent is blocking the IL-4 receptor to inhibit this allergic reaction. Nucala is neutralizing IL-5, and Tezspire is targeting TSLP, an inflammatory mediator. FB825 has a unique mechanism of action to target IgE B cells, and it will have its own unique market in the future. In addition, in drug therapy, side effects are also an important factor for doctors in choosing drugs. For example, Xolair has a warning on the generic that it may cause anaphylactic shock in patients, and other drugs have different degrees of immunosuppression, which can lead to some bad side effects. Therefore, FB825 will use its unique mechanism of action, as well as the immunity does not affect the patient's other immunity and bring a better drug safety. May extend the time of administration, for example, in the future maybe 1 month, 2 months, or even 3 months, to give the drug only once the possibility of these characteristics will be differentiated from the other existing allergic asthma medicines or other different types of asthma medicines. These characteristics will differentiate them from other existing allergy medications or other different types of asthma medications. We have also observed that the market for asthma medications continues to grow, and even though there are different types of asthma medications entering the market, we have seen that Xolair continues to sell $2.47 billion per year and maintains a certain level of sales even in the face of competition from Dupixent, Nucala, and Tezspire. With so many drugs competing, Dupixent can still contribute $11.1 billion to the sales market, while Nucala is only targeting a very small portion of patients in the IL-5 series, and it can also contribute close to $200 million in sales. Therefore, in the allergic asthma or other types of asthma segment, the patient continues to increase. The market has always been there, so providing a new mechanism of action, safer options will help to further expand the asthma drug market, which is also the opportunity of FB825. Next, I would like to report FB704A. FB704A is fully human anti-IL-6 mAb, which can effectively neutralizes the key inflammatory cytokine IL-6 in inflammation. The versatile role of IL-6 in inflammatory pathways has been confirmed. The picture on the left shows that IL-6 participates in various inflammatory reactions, and we can see that one of the pathways involved with neutrophils is also one of its pathways. In the past, it was recognized that IL-6 participates in the treatment of rheumatoid arthritis and cytokinetic storms and so on, and these pathways have already been clinically proven. Therefore, under the fact that IL-6 is involved in a wide range of inflammatory mechanisms, targeted IL-6 still has a wide range of potentials in the future. IL-6 has been proved to be involved in a wide range of inflammatory mechanisms. Targeted IL-6 will still have a wide range of applications for different indications in the future. FB704A effectively blocks IL-6 downstream signaling pathways. In the past preclinical and clinical trials, FB704A can effectively block the message pathway of IL-6, and we are facing various competitive strategies in the international arena. On the basis of the existing pharmacological foundation, we are focusing on expanding the unique indications related to IL-6 and gaining the first opportunity to create a difference in the indications that others have not yet entered. The first indication of FB704A is severe neutrophilic turnover. I emphasize neutrophilic. Then in this indication we blocked IL-6. We can find that it can make this neutrophilic asthma pathway obtained a block. IL-6 is also highly correlated with asthma. The picture on the left shows allergens, and an example is dust mites, which are one of the most common allergens. After stimulation, it stimulates the production of IL-6 in macrophages, epithelial cells, and immune cells, resulting in a series of chain reactions that cause asthma and even further exacerbate asthma. Therefore, IL-6 plays an important role in asthma, but as we have just reported, there are already some biologics on the market for asthma, and they have already taken over the eosinophilic. That is, the middle part is a series of patients with high eosinophilic, including patients with high IgE and high eosinophilic. On the far right is neutrophilic, which is the group of patients with high neutrophils, and so far no biologics have been explored in this area. Neutrophilic asthma does not lack specific treatment, and that is an opportunity for FB704A. When we look at the percentage of patients, according to research statistics and our own internal experiments, nearly half of the patients with severe asthma have very high neutrophilic sputum. This type of patients is also the patients that we can target with the 704A. The FB704A is undergoing a Phase 2 clinical trial for severe asthma, and we are currently working hard to collect the cases. Another indication for FB704A is the improvement of reducing CVD risk in CKD patients. To explore the potential of FB704A in this trial, we are planning to enroll 24 patients with high inflammatory index CRP to explore the possible application of FB704A. The trial is still undergoing enrollment according to the plan, however. In order to accurately and efficiently enroll the target patients, we are planning to perform another chronic kidney disease, CKD, blood assay. Will be performed to study the inflammatory marker CRP in CKD patient at risk of CVD. The assay trial has been completed in March this year, with IRB submissions from the pilot hospitals. After obtaining the CRP data, it will be beneficial for us to accelerate the enrollment of the right target group. Chronic kidney disease, CKD, has caused a heavy burden of healthcare in the world, and the complications of cardiovascular disease will threaten the lives of patients. Chronic kidney disease affects 1 in every 10 individuals and 50% chance of developing cardiovascular disease. It is estimated to become the 5th leading cause of death by 2040. The global treatment market is projected to reach $47.9 billion by 2032. There is no specific drug for CKD at the moment. Currently, there is no specific drug, but this is a huge market that FB704A will try to enter. On March 27, 2024, data from the real-time statistics website Worldometer shows that the global cumulative number of COVID-19 infections has reached 704 million, resulting in 7 million deaths. In February 2024, Maria van Kerkhove, director of the WHO's Department of Epidemiology and Control, stated in an interview with Scientific American that despite declining media attention, the COVID-19 virus continues to spread extensively worldwide. The actual number of infections is 2 to 20 times higher than reported by various countries. She cautioned that SARS-CoV-2 is a virus that will persist and continue to mutate, resulting in loss of life that cannot be ignored. The Health Resources and Services Administration, HRSA, of the United States estimates that the future annual number of COVID-19 infections will reach 110 million, far exceeding influenza. Currently, there are concerns about drug resistance and safety in the treatment of COVID-19, which makes the development of new therapies necessary. SNSN-812 is a once-and-for-all cure for coronavirus infections that targets the conserved region of the virus, capturing at all variants, so it can perfectly replicate all mutated strains even as the virus continues to evolve. In 2023, sales of Pfizer and Merck's anti-COVID drugs, Paxlovid and Lagevrio, respectively reached $4.7 billion and $1.4 billion, despite the presence of expired treatments in the government's inventory. These figures far exceed the peak sales of antiviral drugs for influenza in history, typically ranging around $1 billion. Thus, the market demand for COVID-19 is continuing and much higher than that for influenza treatment. According to the CDC, the predominant viral strain in the current outbreak is JN.1. Gene sequence data indicates that JN.1 remains within the effective inhibitory range of SNS-812. Phase 2 clinical trials in Taiwan are currently ongoing at National Taiwan University Hospital and its collaborative NTUH patient-centered seamless transition and referral system. To expedite enrollment, 3 additional hospitals, Taipei Medical University Hospital, Taipei Medical University Shuangho Hospital, and Taipei Municipal Wanfang Hospital, have been added to enhance regional coverage. Enrollment has commenced at these 3 hospitals as of Q1 2024. The completion of the Clinical Study Report, CSR, is scheduled for H2 2024. Oneness Biotech RD momentum has resulted in the development of 3 innovative drugs, altering established treatment standards, including Fespixan, which solves the problem of difficult-to-treat diabetic foot ulcers by reducing the risk of amputation and offering the hope of complete healing, addressing a gap in the treatment of diabetic foot ulcers that had been left untreated for more than 25 years. Fespixan has already approved in mainland China, Singapore, Malaysia, and Taiwan to enter the international market. Another innovative drug, FB825, is the first-in-class antibody targeting IgE B cells for atopic dermatitis. With its innovative mechanism of action, excellent safety profile, long dosing interval, ability to block allergic reactions and inhibit memory IgE B cells, which are the key to immune response, FB825 has the potential to bring about an entire change in the treatment of the disease for the patients and fundamentally change the therapeutic spectrum of the treatment of IgE. The third innovation is SNS812, a novel therapeutic approach for treating pan-SARS-CoV-2 infections. It provides a new strategy for the treatment of pan-SARS-CoV-2 infections with excellent viral reassortment coverage. SNS812 solves the problem of mutation resistance and provides a safe and convenient solution for current SARS-CoV-2, future neocoronavirus influenza, and possible future pandemics. Oneness was selected again in 2024 by the SP Global Sustainability Yearbook, after previously being included in the DJSI Emerging Markets Index, FTSE For Good Index, Bloomberg Gender Equality Index, SP Global Sustainability Yearbook, and the top 5% of listed companies for corporate governance evaluation in 2023. It is the only biotech company in Taiwan to receive this honor. The 4 categories, product stewardship, transparency, marketing practices, and occupational health safety, received the best ranking. 16 of total 28 categories ranked among the top 5% of the global pharmaceutical industry. Final note on investment risk. The nature of the business is new drug development for global unmet needs, which is considered with high risk. Any development projects or clinical trials are under risk of failure, and Oneness has done the optimal risk management, but the investors shall have the risk awareness. It takes time to establish distribution channel, enter reimbursement system, and collect post-market evidence after the drug is successfully launched. Oneness has talents, capitals, technology, and innovation. The new drug pipeline covers various stages. Profitability will begin after the company reaches the turning point where the licensed drug achieves the milestone, the launched drug enters into major markets, and the rest of the pipeline continue to be out-licensed.
Thank you very much for your participation in this investor conference. Due to time constraints, today's online meeting ends here. The part of the investor's question that has not been answered, we will be uniformly placed on the official website of Oneness Biotech before the opening of the trading session tomorrow. Please refer to the investor's question and answer. The next conference is scheduled for the second half of June. I wish you all success in your investment. Thank you.